Welcome back to AllbyOly Design. If you are new, my name is Olga. I'm a fashion designer and professional seamstress. I share tutorials about alteration, redesign, and much more. In this tutorial, I want to show you how I'm gonna redesign my best friend's wedding gown. She purchased a simple wedding gown and we're gonna do a little redesign and also custom made veil. I am so excited to work on this project. I couldn't wait for this moment when finally it's gonna happen, her wedding, and I want to invite you to watch her journey and mine as well. So stick with me and let's get started. So this is our beautiful dress, and top part is beaded and the down skirt is simple tulle where we will need to hem it. As you see on the beaded part, there is yellow sequence where we have to remove it. The back side is so beautiful, so we don't need any adjustments on a dress this part. So she have this beautiful dress, so what we don't like is this yellow, so we want to make sure to remove them very carefully so we don't have to ruin the dress. And then instead of this, we're gonna add something better, and I did mark right here how much I have to take in the shoulders, and then we'll see what we're gonna do with this part. Okay, so let's get started. So let me show you how to cut out this sequence without cutting the thread. For example, I will push the sequence so I can cut right where is the sequence hole is. Then I will push the other part and cut it carefully. Make sure you don't cut the thread from beading. And then I'm just gonna remove it and pull it out. Okay, so it looks good. Now we need to work on the second and remove all of them. In closer look, you can see these sequins are more yellowish than white. So my friend, she really likes for the dress to be white. So we want to kind of to match the style of the dress and remove this sequence. This sequence, it does take a little time, but make sure you do it carefully. Don't pull too much the thread, so that way the beading is still original just as it is. Next, I will have to adjust the shoulders, which I pinned with safety pins on her, and then I see exactly how much I have to take in. I will take the erasable pen that is very easy to remove it with the steam, and I will mark all the way where I can so it will be visible. Now I will still leave some safety pins just to make sure I don't lose exactly how much the amount is to adjust, and I will measure to double check just in case. When adjusting any clothes, you want to make sure to double check exactly how much you have to take in. So you can measure with the ruler or the tape measurement, and in my case I have to take in 1.5 inches almost. So that means 3/4 I have to adjust if I'll fold the fabric. Next, we have to remove the top stitch from the sleeve part. We wanted to remove the sleeve if we want to adjust the shoulder first, and then we're gonna sew it back. Sometimes on some wedding gowns the beads are sewed all through the tulle and all through the sleeve seam, so sometimes we have to cut this thread and then we're gonna sew by hand all the beads. In our case, it's easy peasy. We just remove the thread and you can see how the sleeve is just detaching from the shoulder line. So in my case, the details of the beading are so separate on the tulle than the tulle from the dress. So that way we can see exactly the seam and we can easily adjust. So all you have to do is to fold, match exactly the seam, and then adjust 3/4 first the tulle part. So I will leave always extra fabric, extra allowance, just in case if my customer wanted to let it out back. I will never cut the fabric right too close to the seam because you never know. Sometimes customers feel too tight or something change and they wanted to let it out. So always make sure to leave at least half inch or 3/4 of the allowance when you adjusting clothes. After we adjust the shoulder line, now we have to sew back the details. Make sure the back side is first and then the top part front is next. We want to make sure the dress looks just like original, and then I will pin it, and then we have to adjust the sleeve. As the sleeve, you see the length is longer than in shoulder part, so now we have to open a little bit of the sleeve and make more like a wrinkling. As you see, I open, make a wrinkle. Now I am ready to sew. I always look how the dress was made, and I'm trying always to do exactly and finish exactly how the dress was made before. And now the fun part of the dress. These butterflies, I cut it from the fabric. They were 3 sizes of butterflies. I choose only 2, which is teeny tiny one. I double it and then I will sew it on the dress. I love this little volume, and we will create a custom made veil as well. As you see, I am adding those butterflies only where you can see the white corset. I wanted to leave the upper part beaded one where you can see the skin clear. Now we're just gonna first place where we wanna sew these butterflies first, and then we're gonna start hand stitching them. In altering wedding gowns and also redesigning, my favorite part is to work with beading and small details. The more beading and details you have, the more fun is for me. So here is our closer look on the sewing butterflies. I think it looks so cute. Time to work on the custom made veil. I already know the length of the veil and it's gonna be double layered. Then we're gonna start placing the butterflies to see exactly where we're gonna sew, and then sewing by hand. Some of them I did try to sew on a sewing machine, which was okay, but do not risk to not ruin the fabric. I did sew them by hand better. Our goal for a veil is to add more butterflies up and less on the bottom. So this is what we try to design. This is our second fitting where the shoulders and sleeves looks good, the butterflies are wonderful. We only need to finish the hem part, which is easy peasy. So the final touches is to finish the bustle on a dress and all set. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching and make sure to subscribe for more. Here is before and after adding butterflies.